Okay, one of the things you're all going to need to do on your blog is you're going to need to add a navigation menu. So this navigation menu doesn't have to be particularly complex, but we all need to have some way to be able to navigate around your blog and see the different sections that you're adding. Okay, so if I go into my dashboard and I go to the appearance menu and I click on menus here, so we're going to go and add a basic menu now. First thing you need to do this is give your menu a name. So this name doesn't really massively matter what you call it. I'm just going to call it main menu. Okay, it's going to be the menu that sits on the top of my page. It's going to be the menu I use just to navigate my main sections of the website. So I'm going to click create menu now. Okay, and once that's updated, you now have your menu structure here, and we can add items from the left over here to my menu. So on my blog at the moment, I've only got a couple of things published. So I've got an about page. So I'm going to click that and I'm going to move it to my menu. Okay, and we can see it appears now under my menu structure over here. I've also got a category called articles. I'm going to click on that and add that to my menu. So when someone clicks on that, they'll obviously be able to see all the articles I've published on my blog. Okay, so this is quite useful. So if someone goes into your about page, they should then be able to go into all your articles. Okay, so that's how the navigation works. If you go to one section, you should then be able to get back to the other. Okay, so we've got our about page, our articles. We can also add custom links to here. So one of the things you might want to do here is go and add a link to your Twitter profile. So I'm going to copy the URL for my Twitter profile from here. I'm going to go back to my menus, and then under my custom links, I paste the URL in the URL field, and I give it a name. Obviously, in this case, I'm going to call it Twitter. So click Add to Menu. Okay, the other thing I could do is I could add a custom link that goes directly back to my home page. So this is the URL from my home page. I copy that into my URL field, and I put the link text home. Okay, so now I've got 4 links: home, Twitter, articles, and about. The other thing you can do in your menu structure is you can drag and drop items to reorder them. So I want my home to be at the top. And then I want my articles to come next, and then my about page, and then my Twitter. Okay, the thing to bear in mind when you're dragging and dropping is that if you slightly indent it to the right like that, it becomes a sub-item. So now the Twitter menu will only show if I hover over the about menu. Okay, we'll have a look at that in a minute. For now, I'm going to put that back. So once your menu is sorted, you need to select a display location. So I've got 2 display locations, and again, I'll have a look at this social links menu in a minute, but you need to tick at least one of these. And again, I want this to be my main menu, so I'm assuming if I tick primary menu, it will show up somewhere pretty obvious. Okay, so now if I click Save Menu, and I go and visit my site, should be able to see my navigation menu appears here. And if I scroll through and click on the items, so articles, that takes me to all the posts I published on my blog. My about page takes me to my about page. My Twitter takes me to my Twitter profile. Okay, with the Twitter link, you can see that opens in the same tab. It might be nice if that opens in a new tab. So let's have a look at how you do that. So I'm going to go back to my blog, go into my dashboard, go into my menus again, and I'm going to tick on the little arrow next to the Twitter menu item. Okay, to reveal it. Now, by default here, there's no option to say open this in a new tab. But if I go to the top of my screen, there's some screen options. Up here, I can select link target. Okay, go back down, and now I've got this little tick box appear. So open link in a new tab. I can tick that. Okay, so while we're here, let's also have a look at that sub-menu option. So if I drag my Twitter link just to the right and put it under about, it becomes a sub-item. So I'm going to click on Save, and again, I'm going to go and view my home page. So here's my menu, and again, my about page, if I roll over it, go to this little arrow at the end, click on it, that's a sub-item. It only shows when you click on the item above it. So it's now kind of hidden underneath my about page. Okay, and just to check, if I click on Twitter, it should now open in a new tab. Okay, so that's your menu. By default, you should at least have a couple of items in there. So we would expect to see an about page. We're going to expect to see a voice and tone page, and again, we'll talk about that at a later time. And we'll expect to see links to your social media. Okay, so when it comes to social media, some themes will have this social links menu down here. So if you've got an option for, if you've got a display location that's something to do with social, let's check that out and see what it does. So to do that, I'm going to go and create a new menu. So I can do that by clicking on this link up here, create a new menu. And this time I'm going to call this menu name, I'm going to call it social media. And I'm going to click create menu. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go and add a custom link to my Twitter profile. So just copy that and paste that into the URL field. And again, I'm going to give this the link text of Twitter. So obviously for you, you need to have 2 social media accounts. So let's just go and find my Instagram account as well. So here I am. And again, I'm going to copy the URL for this, and I'm going to go back to my menus, and I'm going to add this as another link. Okay, so now I've got 2 social media links in here. Let's see what happens if I click on this display location social links menu. Okay, so if I click save, and now go and view my blog, hopefully we'll be able to see where that social media shows up. Okay, and you can see directly under my menu, I've now got these nice social media icons that show up. Okay, so if under your menus you have a display location which says something about social media, do check it out and see what it does. But at the very least, you're going to need to have one menu where you link to your about page, your voice and tone page, your posts, and your social media.